Hello, this is Blue Star, Defender of Equestria, and this is my next Focus On video, Opaline and the Alicorns in Chapter 4. Roar! As a quick reminder, I really don't like spoilers because A, I'm a reactor, and B, I just don't like spoilers. It's tempting to go into Opaline's character, but I want this video to specifically be about the Alicorns and what we learned about them in Chapter 4, because there's definitely some interesting things going on here, so... If you haven't seen Chapter 4 yet, I really recommend you go watch it before you watch this video, because especially if you're a fan of Friendship is Magic, there's definitely something here that you're definitely gonna recognize. So, roar! The big one was, oh my gosh, it's Celestia and Luna as Phillies! Yay! Because they went to the trouble of making them 3D characters as opposed to just 2D images as they've had in previous chapters, that I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of all three of these characters, so I look forward to seeing where that goes, so... roar. So immediately we learn a little bit about, like, Opaline's childhood and, you know, her, in some ways, relationship with Luna and Celestia, and unfortunately... it wasn't a very good one, to be honest. Ugh. And the long story short is that, yeah, Opaline was basically jealous of them because, yeah, they were the golden ponies, the favorites. Every pony loved them because they had the whole sun and moon thing going on. But I'm a fire alicorn. Look at all these amazing fire powers I have. How come nobody likes me? Aww. I think overall, this generation has been handling the whole thing of referencing Friendship is Magic, but without alienating the new fans really well. Like, at the very beginning, like, if you've seen Friendship is Magic before, you're gonna instantly know who these ponies are. Like, oh my gosh, it's Celestia and Luna. However, if you haven't, you're still gonna get that, oh, these must be two very important ponies, because, oh, they control the sun and the moon, and, oh, I can understand why Opaline is jealous of them, so, oh, okay. And then she says that I would fulfill my elemental duty. Ooh. That's very interesting to me, because in the Friendship is Magic era, / Ancient Equestria, each Alicorn princess was essentially assigned an element, whether it was the sun, the moon, friendship, love, and they were essentially, yeah, the princess of that element. It was their elemental duty to basically oversee that element and see that it is successful, does whatever purpose it serves, and grows and spreads throughout the whole of Equestria. Luna and Celestia were the princess of the sun and the moon, essentially day and night, so Celestia is responsible everything for during the day, Luna is responsible everything during the night, because even an Alicorn has to sleep sometime. And Twilight Sparkle was the Princess of Friendship, and she eventually learns that her mission is to see that the magic of friendship spreads not only to the ponies, but to all the creatures in and around Equestria. So, roar. They're not just simply, oh, they're an Alicorn. It's like, no, this is the Alicorn of Fire, this is the Alicorn of Friendship, this is the Alicorn of the Sun and the Moon. I'm not quite sure what an Alicorn of Fire's role is, but it'll be interesting to see to find out. So each Alicorn is basically assigned an element that they're basically responsible for, but as we see with Friendship is Magic, and even a little bit with Make Your Mark, they're also kind of like the mother figures. I do have to say in the case of Opaline, it's more like the evil stepmom, but in like Friendship is Magic, Celestia was essentially a mother figure to the whole of Equestria, particularly the main five, and especially Twilight. Opaline may be acting more as like the evil stepmom that doesn't really have Misty's interests at heart, but she still is kind of the mother figure to Misty, particularly because she's raised her from like when she was a young filly. Maybe this is part of the reason why she actually, you know, took on Misty. It's like, I need to be like the guide to some pony. Oh look, here's some pony that I can help guide to be the way that I think that she should be. Again, I guess being sort of almost more like the evil stepmom, she's kind of more guiding her to the way that she wants her to be rather than what is best for Misty. Another interesting thing is that when Opaline says, oh, when I was growing up in Skyros, sort of confirms this thought that I kind of had after reading the journal of the two sisters, that maybe there's like an Alicorn city or land somewhere that the Alicorns like all like come from. As far as we're aware, there's not that many of them, so it would make sense for them to like live somewhere separate away from the other ponies. And I don't believe that Opaline's alternate history of Equestria, where she says all magic comes from Alicorns, is true. But however, I think there could be an element of truth to that, and I want to see what that element of truth is. So, But in some ways, the most significant thing for Luna and Celestia fans is that this almost confirms that Celestia and Luna are still out there and opens up the possibility of that maybe we might see them again. Which, as a fan of Celestia and Luna, would be just so great. It would be so awesome to see the two royal sisters in their full 3D glory. Roar! It looks like Celestia and Luna are slightly older than Opaline is, but they're basically all kids. So if they're all the same age and Opaline is still here, it's a pretty good bet that Celestia and Luna are still out there. So, roar! Unless, of course, it's some sort of weird aging thing and Celestia and Luna are actually way older than Opaline is and they're actually long gone. Which, honestly, I don't think is likely. I also think this all but proves that Celestia, Luna, and Opaline are natural-born alicorns, because the only ever time we've seen a child alicorn was Princess Flurryheart, who was the child of a unicorn and an alicorn. So unless they've all done some sort of princess-worthy thing, they had to have been born alicorns. So, I definitely would love to see Celestia and Luna again. That would just be so great. Roar! Particularly because the long story short is, they might have to. I want this video to be mostly about the alicorns and not Opaline, Celestia, and Luna, but I will say here that there definitely appears to be an issue between these ponies, and it may require that all three of those ponies get back together and resolve that issue. So we shall see. Regardless, I really thought that was an interesting idea that Celestia, Luna, and Opaline all essentially grew up together and sadly had very different experiences. But that's definitely an interesting thing, and I hope they continue to go down that road, because I really want to see what's down that road, so roar! So now some brief thoughts on Alicorns of the Ancient World. Ooh, it's like a book on ancient alicorns. Roar! Yay, it's Celestia! Yay! So Celestia is on the cover of this book. Yo! But I have no idea who this alicorn is. She is definitely an unusual color scheme. And I don't know if her horn is actually purple or is this just simply her horn is like lit with like magic or something. But yeah, these are very dark kind of colors. So interesting. Who could this mysterious alicorn be? Maybe she's like the princess of the alicorns? You know, maybe Celestia Luna's mom, maybe Opaline's mom, but I have a feeling we're gonna find out, and I kind of almost like in some ways that here's a little bit from Friendship is Magic that we're familiar with, and here's this thing that we're totally not. So, ooh. Briefly on the missing page that Misty ripped out, I mean, obviously I can't read this writing, but this pony kinda looks like Luna? Maybe, but it kind of could be any alicorn. But it sounds like whatever was on this page was actually pretty significant, so it'll be interesting to see, you know, where they go with that, or if they go anywhere with that. So we might have not learned a lot of direct things about the alicorns in Chapter 4, but there were lots of little things that were kind of hinted at, or like, oh, we might be learning more about that in the future, and definitely did sort of reaffirm a few of the things that were kind of established in Friendship is Magic, that yeah, that most of these alicorns were essentially assigned an element that they're like responsible for. So it's going to be interesting to learn more about those things, like what does it mean for Opaline to be like the alicorn of fire? Who is this mysterious alicorn on the cover of this book? What other things about alicorns might we learn? And maybe we might even get to see the two royal sisters again. So roar. But regardless, I do actually like the way that this generation is actually expanding upon not only this generation, but the previous one as well. We've had a lot of questions about alicorns. Where did they come from? How do they work? How long do they live? Etc, etc, etc. And it sounds like this generation might actually answer some of those questions. Or maybe not, but regardless, I look forward to seeing what the next chapter has for us, and maybe we'll learn more about the alicorns, maybe we're not, but I'm sure one way or the other it's gonna be interesting. So, roar. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you for commenting, liking, and subscribing, and until next time, this is Blue Star. Stay strong, and pony on. Blue Star out.